like fiber and shit like that.
Fucking fiber is so nice. Once they lay down that cable, it's all over.
I know. I'm ready for it. My body is ready. I'm spread and I'm sweating already.
All right, so oh my God, this is good. This is good shit. I should probably okay. So what's going on, everyone? This is Squids. We are doing the third episode of the Squid Tales podcast, and today I have a old friend of mine, Alex, and he is going to entertain the piss out of you for the next hour or so.
I mean, I can try. I can try. I'll be humble. You might not piss yourself from the things I say, but you'll get close.
And of course, what I've done with Mitch and Charles as well is give me just you don't have to go in depth if you don't want to or in order, but give me like your top five favorite animes of all time right now.
Of all time.
Yeah,
So, of course, you guys can see by the thumbnail, my chosen long-running shonen anime is Dragon Ball.
but you
And I have a lot of things I could say, but
it looks like it's Gundam on my end.
oh, it's definitely got. I think it's got Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3 Goku on the front of the shirt.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. Now you're talking. I'm slow. Keep going, buddy.
And then, of course, Gundam ranks up in those like top animes. I don't think I could pick one Gundam, but I mean, those were the two serialized animes that really started out for me. And if we want to go like anime movies, Akira's got to like take my top spot because that was what got me into anime in the first place, way back in the day. And then, so I'm on like 3 right now. Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, yeah. I
Gotta love
actually
Standalone Complex. It's
just
phenomenal.
I just bought that on 4K for the it's like 5 years late, but
Nice.
for the 25th anniversary edition. It looks so
Yeah,
good.
I bought the hardcovers of the printed mangas, and I still have yet to really read them, but that's just me being
You got to read,
ADHD as all hell.
and then
I do have to read. I'm getting on it, dude. I started Chainsaw Man. I'm probably gonna read Fire Punch because I watched a whole documentary
fucking
yesterday
fire
about that
punch.
guy.
Uh,
I'm
okay,
I'm moderately interested now.
that's fair.
Like
That's
I'm
fair.
moderately.
Did you start
But
Ikitasen?
no, I have not. But I did finish a new one the other day that captivated me because let's preface this to all your fans. I will only watch like I think Gundam is different because it's a bunch of different series that all interconnect with each other in some way on the timeline. But as for like a long running anime, I really only have the one, and that's Dragon Ball. Like I don't watch Naruto, I don't watch One Piece, I don't watch Bleach or anything like that. I don't have time for that. I'm 31 years old. I
What do you
like
mean you
the
don't
bite
have time
size.
for it? I have time for
I
it.
like getting laid. Okay.
Hey man. Hey man.
But I work 44 hours a week. I got a kid, so like I sit down and I watch things, and I don't want to dedicate all my time to one long continuous running story all the time like I do with Dragon Ball or Gundam. So I like bite-sized animes, where I can get 12 to 24 episodes, maybe like 3, 4 seasons, and it's done. It has a good conclusion to it.
Mm.
So I actually recently watched Shinobi no. I'm gonna fucking butcher all of these. Shinobi no Itoki.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it, dude. I fucking loved it. I loved every minute of it for no reason. I was like, this is kind of badass. Like, this is really what I would believe ninjas
That's
looked like in,
I
in
was gonna
modern
say that
times.
was the one that was recently that I actually hyped up and I reviewed the episodes and then that ending really pissed me off.
Dude, I'm going to say this right now. As a tough guy, cry guy that doesn't really show a lot of emotion all the time, I almost cried when the woman, the girl, his like adoptive sister, the one that was
Yeah,
like
the
all
hot one.
brainwashed. Yeah, the hot one with the mask and
Yeah,
stuff. We can
yeah.
call her that, the one that I would let spit in my mouth. But I, I was like at the end, I was like, oh my god, he's smiling.
But I think the only thing that like, because I definitely cried, especially when his mom died. But like, I just feel like they set up so many things that like half of them they kind of just didn't tie or half-assedly did. Like
Yeah,
like that
I could
one
see
guy's
that, but I mean,
father, like that. I mean, that was kind of half-assed, and you
they're
know,
throwing it into a 12 episode where they're trying to get as much packed into those 12 episodes, and I think they did a damn good job of doing it.
they should have spent a little less time at school chasing birds.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, aren't we all chasing birds some days?
No,
And then for, I guess my fifth one at the moment has to go to The Devil is a Part-Timer, and I'm excited for that third season. I don't know
even
what it
at
is about that anime.
even after the second one.
I don't know what it is about it, dude. I love the level of comedy that's in there. And I've always been one of those people who's kind of drawn to like real life situations made weird.
Yeah,
Like, and that's kind of falls into that category. Because like some honorable mentions would be like Angel Beats and Shuffle and stuff like that for animes I kind of thoroughly enjoyed.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I just bought. This has nothing to do with anything, but I just bought the first 4 out of 5 seasons of Sailor Moon at Walmart.
That's one that I feel bad that I haven't watched yet.
I'm going to
It's on
binge
my
it.
list, but that's like Dragon Ball
Whoops.
Z for girls.
Hey man, I prefer it more. It's just
No,
a nice.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah. I mean, if Yoshi, the writer for Yu Hakusho, was cool enough to marry her, her material's got to be somewhat decent, right? Oh god. Oh, there we go.
Let's talk about Yu Yu Hakusho for 2 fucking seconds. What is up with the massive fall off after the dark tournament? Like, it's just really not that interesting.
What?
Like, well, like I
What?
was reading into
Dude,
it
the
because it's just
chapter Black arc is
like,
fucking
yeah, there's some interesting.
fantastic. Shinobu
I
was
mean,
fucking
I might have to do
awesome.
a second watch because
You didn't like Shinobu?
there's a lot of things that sometimes I gotta go through not really.
Oh,
There's a
dude,
lot of
he
things though
was
I have to
so
go through a second
fucking
watch to truly appreciate it, and that
yeah.
might be that arc.
It's like
Well, it's like
he's
let's
like
bring it back to
totally.
Dragon. Let's bring it back to. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say like he's like the villain that isn't the villain because in like everything he's actually right like for the most part about everything. It's like so
Yeah, I
chaotic and like twisting and like the fact that he used to be a spirit detective gone like fucking opposite side of the spectrum. It was crazy, crazy. And then we got and
I
then we got
suppose, but I
we
mean, it
got
just
Yusuke's ancestral transformation. That was really neat.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, it was.
even though you only get to see it like
But
twice.
like even, but like let's bring it back to like Dragon Ball Z for a second because that's something I can heavily relate to. All of GT I hated when
Oh,
I
I
was a
love
kid,
GT.
but now
Yeah.
that I went, well, now that I've went and watched through it again, like I think it beats Super by like 6 miles. You know,
Yeah.
like if was a foot race, Super Saiyan God Goku would still be at the starting line versus like Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Like,
But I think I like the
and I know
theory.
there's still you're stuttering again on my end, bud.
God damn it. Let's see here. Life's
It
fucking
happens. I
hard,
remember
man.
Skype in 2010.
Hey, man. Life's hard. Living in the
It
sticks.
is. It is. But
But Yeah, no, I
So
mean,
like,
GT is like, I don't know. I feel like I've heard the theory of like how that's like the original timeline, and then Super is obviously an alternate timeline or vice versa. I kind of like that.
I kind of like that too, but I also like the theory that they could recanonize GT because Super is more of an interlude between Z and GT. But there's, of course, there would be a lot of retconning, but that's what Dragon Ball is best at,
That would
you
be the
know.
hardest retcon in the whole world.
But like, think of how hype it would be if all of a sudden you saw like Goku go Ultra Instincts, then go Super Saiyan 4, and just have to slap someone around a bit.
That would be pretty brutal. But oh man, that'd be. But then like, why wouldn't I don't know? Because GT would takes place after Super, so like
Yeah.
I don't. They just like
Well,
lost their ability to do do
well,
all
so
that.
it wouldn't make sense with Vegeta because it wouldn't make sense with Vegeta in the continuity, but it would make sense with Goku because Goku lost most of his transformations when he was turned into a kid. Like it took him how long to get back to being able to use like instant transmission and even get into Super Saiyan 3 and stuff like that. So
I
there is
suppose,
room there for them to like,
but I'm sad that Vegeta doesn't have his mustache anymore.
oh, fucking GT Vegeta might be my favorite character from Dragon Ball.
he's just he's just his
Like,
dad. He's just his dad taking fucking bra to the mall. His fucking mustache and cut off jacket.
well, like if you think about like the character development from Z to GT for Vegeta, Vegeta becomes like this guy who's very much out on his own, and then of course in the Buu saga you see him like give it all up
Explode.
for his family, which is like, yep, just blow himself up. But then in fucking GT, he really is like, this is my planet. You're not gonna do this to my planet. You know, this is my home now. That's
Yeah.
like astonishing character development for a character.
Even though he let Baby take his ass over.
Yeah, but he also like punched Trunks, and when Trunks was about to go toe to toe with Cell, it was like, absorb the androids. I need to fight you in your perfect form.
It's still not as bad as Goku giving Cell a sensu bean.
Well, see, Goku giving Cell a sensu bean, like he knew that Gohan was more powerful than Cell at that point. Like they
Oh
trained
yeah.
together. He knew he just needed to push him to that point where he awakened him. And if
And
you
so
look at
he's
like the
like
original story,
he's like, I need to take a
well, if
break
you
from
look
your
at
mom, man. She's fucking killing me.
pretty much, but like if you look at how this story was supposed to play out, it makes perfect sense why Goku would give Cell that sensu bean. Goku was
Well,
supposed
right.
to no longer be the main character.
Yeah, and then people didn't like that because the Gohan high school arc was miserable.
It kind of was. I still
Yeah,
kind of love the
Great
Great Saiyaman
Saiyaman. I
poses though.
hate him. I hate him so much.
I am the Great Saiyaman.
Oh, and then Videl, man. Once she lost her pigtails, it was all over.
No, she wasn't cute anymore. Her character's cute until she loses the pigtails.
Or when fucking what's his nuts? I posted that video on TikTok years ago of when Goku is stopping Gohan from helping Videl in the world tournament when she's getting destroyed by Pulpovich or whatever the fuck his name was.
Volpovich, such a
Yeah,
goofy name. Like
it's
let's
just
be Japanese and make up a Russian name.
so like Goku's just like no Gohan, just let her keep getting her ass fucking pounded into this concrete.
And like if you think about it, what's kind of fucked about that is, do you think Goku would have let Chi Chi go through that?
Right, he probably would have.
Fair enough. I want her to be more powerful, so I have a good opponent in the bedroom.
Even though we learned that he's never even kissed Chi Chi.
Oh, they had to have kissed, dude. They got 2 kids at least.
It's not what he said in Super.
But let's talk about the Cell arc for a minute. Um, Chi-Chi totally had to take that Saiyan meat hammer while he was Super Saiyan in order for Goten to be born. Can we just talk about that for a minute?
We can.
Like, my gosh, full powered up to like the strongest he's been at this point, and he's just laying pipe with his woman.
Yeah. That's what all the homies do. I bet Videl
Well, how do
likes
you
it
do you
too.
do you even like understand the implication?
The indication.
uh, but
What's the
the
indication?
implications, like that's like broken pelvis. That's a kamehameha.
Oh, she's fine. She's a princess.
I'm losing you for a second again, buddy.
He-
Yeah, you're
it's
gonna have to readjust. We're cutting in and out again with each other. Yep, those are the struggles. I remember the struggles because I had Comcast for a long time. And again, like on a good day, I'd have like 10 megabit and like less than a megabit upload.
yeah, yeah, it's brutal. Well, there's Ram's ass right there for your viewing
You
pleasure.
can't see it. You can't see it, but I'm looking close now.
And
So,
her sister's below her, but yeah.
talking about some good fan service, I've been playing Senran Kagura first renewal. And like I must say, like for all the fucking jiggly titties and asses that are in that game,
Yeah.
it's actually got a decent story behind it. And it's goofy because I don't like visual novel games, as I'm like first taking my first kind of forays into the visual novel style of game.
Yeah.
And like they are delivering they're at least this game is delivering the story in a well enough way where I can almost imagine the animations in my head. And like, I mean, fucking big titty ninjas. Who doesn't love big titty ninjas though?
That's
That's not
true.
why I play the game. It's for the storyline, kids.
Yeah, sure.
A
The storyline.
storyline.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it's
why.
like, yeah, the storyline's campy for like an anime game and stuff like that. You know, they're talking about good ninjas and evil ninjas, but like, really, the good ninjas are the bad ninjas because they don't accept anyone, and the evil ninjas accept everyone and do what needs to be done. And it's
Oh,
like, okay, I'll
yeah.
get behind it.
Oh, fucking A. All the ninjas, all of them, everyone.
All the
Like,
ninjas. I will
like,
jive.
like
I will.
Soul Calibur 2. It was always cocky.
Yes, it was that or Ivy, but I mean that's
Or,
because
or
at the time I was really into big titty goth chicks.
I like
Who's
Talum,
not
but
though?
Talum was my shit.
Talim.
She's
Talim
the
was my main
cutest
that I would play
little,
against people.
cute little motherfucker.
Yeah, she is. And then if we got to Soul Calibur 3, I can't remember the chick's name, but the chick with the ring.
The circlet, yeah.
Mm.
I try to, yeah. I haven't played that one as much as 2 or 6.
I played I played 3 a ton because it was the first one where you got the creative characters, and believe me, I created some pretty vulgar characters.
Oh man, that creative character was pretty raunch though.
It was back in the day, man, back when we weren't so worried about what people thought and being like all inclusive with all this stuff. Like, and that's something I kind of want to talk about now that we're on a platform to talk about that thing. The Western like political correctness bleeding into Eastern media, it's gotta stop, dude. It's gotta stop. Like,
that's a that's a Twitter problem.
that is a Twitter problem, but like, so me and my buddy Tyler, he's really into the Naruto series, and he sits and gives me all these examples about how all the Boruto characters have been changed up and all this other stuff. Like, why even bother making a continuation if you're not going to stay true to the original artwork?
Yeah. Tyler.
Oh, you wouldn't know Tyler. He's from out in Buffalo. You'd never met him.
That's
He's a
fair.
good guy, though.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really liking the Kenshin reboot though. It's
I
really good.
I need to actually take the time to watch that. Did it go the way of the Trigun reboot, where it's just not even remotely trying to stay true to the original?
Technically, this one's actually following the manga, so I think some of the fillers not going to be in it that they added to the original anime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's something to be said about pulling fillers out. I mean, I love
And because
Dragon Ball again, for example, because of the fillers.
yeah, because I mean that's what they did with the Shaman King reboot, and people were disappointed. But it's like I don't think they realized how much filler was in the original series.
That's actually on my list of Shaman King because I remember waking up. I think it was on Foxbox in the morning.
Yep, yep, yep.
Saturday mornings, waking up and watching that. I can't even like remember all the characters' names though, but I remember that little flame spirit dude transformed into badass samurai. Like I remember that part at least.
The fight scenes
Fucking
are
one I
fucking
want.
great.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I've got stuff on my list.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
I'm
that one was
currently
47 episodes, maybe.
yeah, I could probably pound that out in a weekend, but
Yeah.
I'm currently trying to keep up. Like just to preface to your fans, I am a dub plebe. I'm a dub plebe. I won't like anime is my thing where I'm meant to sit there and relax, and I really don't want to read. Like I got reading for reading, I got watching for watching.
That's why you just got to become a otaku like me and just learn Japanese. And you don't have to
I'm
read.
actually I'm actually planning on it. Me and my
See?
buddy Tyler, who I was just talking about, we've been talking about learning Japanese quick here because I do want to take a trip to Japan. You know, every weeb's dream. I want to go see the Gundam and fucking don't they have one of the Ava's angels
Yeah,
or the
they do.
fucking not the yeah
In
yeah
Akihabara.
so yeah so I want to go see
Yeah.
all those. I want to see the pagodas. I want to see everything I can out there because like
He
it's a
wants
beautiful
to
nation.
become Nihongo Jozu. And that's
Stop
okay.
stop stop referencing above my head. I feel
Samim
personally attacked.
Samima-sen.
But so
Yeah,
no, I want to go do all that eventually because that's like out of all the foreign trips I've wanted to take, that's been what I've wanted to do since I was a kid.
not paradise.
Yep,
You don't got 2 tickets to paradise?
I've got 2 tickets and a pair of dice.
Oh, well, that sounds about right. Speaking of rolling dice, oh my gosh, I hated the prequel spin-off, but you watched Kakiguri, didn't you?
I think I started watching it, but I never finished it. I think I watched it back in
Whew.
the day. This was when I was bouncing back and forth from animes all the time. Like, I think this would have been the time period where I first watched Welcome to the NHK,
Yeah.
which I'm actually in a rewatch of that. I fucking love that anime, dude. It's so weird and goofy.
Did you ever watch Steins Gate?
Steins Gate. Actually, my buddy keeps telling me I should.
It's
I
so
haven't
good.
gotten around to it yet
It's so
because
good.
he plays like the visual novels and stuff for that game.
I think they got
Isn't
new
that
ones
like a
coming out.
weird slice? Isn't that like a weird slice of life style anime, like thriller kind of
It's
sorta?
I say it's definitely a very intense psychological thriller.
Yeah,
I mean, it kind of
I should
starts
give it a
at
shot.
with a lot of sci-fi too, obviously, but it's crazy. I remember my first
Speaking
time.
on sci-fi,
I remember my first
go
time
ahead.
watching that shit. It was like life changing, especially when like the ending goes a certain way that you're not thinking it's gonna go, and like they do a really good job pulling you until the end of that series. The only disappointing part was the OVA, but what do you do?
You mean I've watched a lot of animes with disappointing OVAs, like like that. Let's just put it that way. Sometimes you just let it end. But
Not wrong. You're not
um,
wrong.
so speaking of like the sci-fi sort of side of things, did you actually catch Edge Runners, the cyberpunk one?
No.
That's like I would say that that's a solid like 7 out of 10 would recommend.
7
I'm
out
not
of
gonna call it a
10.
I'm not gonna call it a 10 out of 10 because that's reserved for animes like Inuyasha. But
Debatable.
now that was a joke. That was a joke.
Oh.
That was a
He's
hard joke.
lying. He's not.
But
He's not. He's not. He's telling the truth.
okay, so we're gonna take a little segue off on a rabbit trail real quick. Inuyasha was
Oh.
one of the first animes right up there with like Gundam, all the Gundams I watched back in the day. So like if I kind of had to peg like a timeline for how I was sort of more introduced into anime, it would have been Akira. And then the Gundam Wing actually started airing in America. And then it was Dragon Ball Z. And then it was Mobile Suit Gundam. And then we got Dragon Ball. And then we got G Fighter. And then Inuyasha and Yu Yu Hakusho were on late at night on, Adult Swim and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
actually have very fond memories of Inuyasha because it was a starter anime for me, but it is something I don't think I will ever go back and watch again because I would rather have those memories than have them ruined by seeing it again.
So that's just admitting that you know that it's going to be bad watching it again.
Exactly. Like I know it wasn't a good anime, but at the time when you only had a few to watch, like, because my journey through anime was kind of weird because I used sources like Stars, because Stars had an anime block late at night, so that's where I first watched like Hellsing and Witchblade and stuff like that. Stuff that you would definitely turn your TV off if the parents walked in.
Oh, dude, Helsing's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, and then fucking we had Anime Unleashed. I don't know if you remember Tech TV back in the day before it was G4. Yeah,
Yeah,
that block would come on right after I came off school. So like that's where I watched like Silent Mobius, Gatekeeper. Was it 20? 12/21?
I think it is. Yeah, that sounds right.
And then honestly, like one that I will go back and watch. You ever heard of? I pulled it up because I did want to fucking bring it up, but I only ever watched it once back in the day. You ever heard of Dual Parallel Trouble Adventure?
I don't think I have actually. That sounds
Bro,
very interesting.
bro, it's a mecha anime, but like with parallel universes and stuff. Like this girl goes back and forth between a parallel universe, and the guy that's interested in her gets sent to that parallel universe. And in that parallel universe, dude, like only the females can pilot the mechs and stuff, but he's like the only dude that can pilot the mech. So like for half of the series, they disguise him as a girl so the enemy doesn't find out, and it gets into all sorts of strange moments.
That's,
But like it was one of those ones I can't remember. I think it aired on Anime Unleashed
I feel like,
on Tech TV.
oh my gosh, I feel like was it like a short? Wasn't very long. Like,
I don't think it was very long, but let me do you one real quick because I actually have the Google page pulled up for it, and I'll just send it quick through here. So if you see any of the characters, oh, I guess that's not what I. Why did you do that? I have the Google page pulled up, so if you recognize any of the characters' faces, it might unlock a memory for you. Because I mean, we are a bit different in age. You might have watched it at a younger age than I did.
right. Let's see.
But no, like one of the big things I remember about it is like they make the suit to make the dude look like a girl, and then like the doctor that made the suit, which is the girl's dad, they're both sitting there fondling the suit's titties, and they're like, "Oh, it's nice, real realistic, right?"
I've totally watched this. I've watched this. I know I
Did that
have.
unlock a memory?
Yeah, yeah, dude. I've watched this for sure. It's not out of my mind.
Or like back in that day too, it was like Boogie Pop Phantom, which I can't remember a lot of, but I remember it was like a big psychological thriller style anime with
Yeah,
like
or
also there was
Bubblegum
what else?
Crash. That one was good.
Uh Colorful, which was literally a whole anime about dudes looking at girls' panties.
That just sounds like a good time.
It is a good time. It was a good time.
It was a good time. It
But
it
then,
it
then of
never ended.
but then of course I got into all the sort of stuff that late night Toonami was airing back in the day. Like Dot Hack Stein. That was for the longest time I would have said was my favorite.
Wow. I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah, it could be. It could be Sword Art Online. I think Dot Hack did it way better.
Ew.
I think Dot Hack did
Ew.
it way better.
You think so?
I think so. I still have yet to watch Roots, but I watched that stupid Twilight Bracelet one, which, God, dude, let's
Twilight
talk about
bracelet one.
super. Let's
What?
talk about Super Deformed. I hate Super Deformed, man. I really do.
What?
Like Chibi, Super Deformed. Like if the whole anime centers around Super Deformed characters in Chibi, I hate it. Except for
See,
maybe what is it called? I gotta look this up real quick.
see, you don't like mid 2000s anime?
Well, I'm not gonna say I don't like mid 2000s
Like
anime.
the anime eyes bother you?
The anime eyes don't bother me. Super Deformed bothers me. Like we're talking SD Gundam Super Deformed, like Chibi.
Oh, like Animal Crossing.
Yes. So the one that I will say doesn't bother me because me and my friend kind of were watching a few episodes of it the other day and it just had me fucking rolling on the floor was me and Robco.
I think
Like they're like these 5-minute episodes and shit like that, but they're just fucking ridiculous and they reference so many other animes in it.
I feel like I know which one you're talking about as well for that one. But like at the same
Where
time,
like it's
I
like
know.
the one where the little kid tries to get like the robot maid and then the robot maid ends up being like a really ugly robot maid with like super weapons and stuff.
No, maybe I haven't seen this one then.
Oh my god, it's so funny, dude. Very bite-sized episodes. I'd recommend giving it a watch in between things.
Okay, okay. Tonight I know I have to go watch the newest episode of My Tiny Senpai. That's got me pretty happy.
What is that?
So it's this show that's airing right now, and there's this guy, and he goes to start this job at this office, and his senpai is this lady who's like 5 foot with huge titties, like really big titties, and like they like have this like innocent like first love crush on each other, but they never admit it. And then like the boss is like always trying to push them together. And then like there's this other chick that's like the main guy's like childhood friend, and like the boss likes her, and it's like this random ass, really nothing new out of the box, but perfect combination of hotness and cuteness at the same time.
I might have to give that a lucky low.
It's absolutely delightful. But the people don't
Speaking of like,
agree. Like I looked on Mal and it has like a 6.6, and I'm like, y'all just don't get it.
speaking of like absolutely weird yet delightful, not anything new type of things, I watched one of those manga reading recaps online today. Just browsing through YouTube about this fucking one where this dude is like a zombie, but he's like a nice zombie, and he's like the king of zombies.
What
I
the
don't, I
fuck?
don't, I didn't even catch what the anime was called, but well, the manga was called, but I think it was a Chinese manga, and
Oh,
fucking, it's essentially One Punch Man, but the One Punch Man character is a zombie,
oh, that sounds kind of interesting.
and like he gets kidnapped into this school of like superhumans because they think he's a superhuman wearing a zombie mask,
But
but
the
then they find
jokes
out he's a
on
zombie.
oh oh.
Yeah. So then like and the main guy tries to like kill him and all this stuff, but then he powers up a bunch and he's like, "Well, you can have your own army." And I'm like, "What's going on here? I love it, but what's going on? I got to figure out what this is so I can read it myself."
Yeah. I mean, but it's always good to give those manga readers some views too if you're feeling lazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they did a damn good job at telling the story. I was completely enthralled the whole time.
Enthralled.
And yes, and it was like an hour and a half video. Yeah, I use big words. I like to seem smart sometimes.
I guess so. That's okay. Sometimes it's good to
I
be
think you froze
smart.
again, Chief. Okay, yeah, there we go. You're back again. But no, I mean, I gotta seem smart because you've heard some of the fucking lines I try to use to pick up women, bro. Like,
This guy.
like, should we give your viewers an example?
I mean, if you really want to, I'm not gonna say no.
So, viewers of this lovely guy right here, I'm gonna paint you a little picture real quick. Now you can see me in the thumbnail, but I'm a split-dyed, blue-haired Elmer, elder emo dude. What if I walked up to you and I was like, "Hey, yo, girl, what do me and your mom's couch have in common? I look nice and I don't pull out."
What if
Did you
her
feel that? I saw you felt that, man. I
but
saw you felt it.
what if her couch is kind of shitty though?
Or like, what's another good example? Oh, we're getting close to a presidential election. So what if I walked up to you, Mr. Matty Poo, and I was like, "Hey, yo, girl, are you running for president? Because you're a candidate I could sure see myself getting behind."
And that works.
I'm not saying it works. I'm saying I'm very entertained saying these things. I'm not going to say it hasn't worked either.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. And there
It's
you
all
have
about the confidence, people. The confidence.
confidence. Yeah, he's got plenty of it.
Oh,
Oh
that's a
my
fucking
god.
lie. Oh.
How when's the last time you
Well,
watched Neon Genesis? Just kidding.
I actually did watch that right around the time me and my ex split. So probably about 2 years ago. And that was right when they put Death of Ava on Netflix. And I was like, oh, space vagina. I
What if
wasn't
I
ready for this.
what if I told you I have all of the original copies on DVD with Fly Me to the Moon still on it? And yeah, Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah.
You're chopping up again. I missed most of that. I heard like copies, robot noises, all
No,
the robot
this
noises,
this
original robot noises. So I'm
this
assuming you got the whole original run of the anime.
yeah, with Fly Me to the Moon still on there.
You're still roboting out, my friend. I'm kind of scared that you're going to take over the world and enslave me and whatnot.
Well, don't worry about that. How about now?
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Yeah.
Okay, viewers, we're having some technical difficulties. I cannot hear your host, so I will become your new host. So how about that Powerpuff Girls?
How about them?
You guys like Power Rangers and stuff?
Yeah.
Power Rangers, yeah, Power Rangers is great.
It was having a shit attack.
It's having a shit attack. Sometimes I have those. I just attribute it to getting old.
That's good.
So
Anyway,
I had a weird moment.
yeah.
I had a weird moment where I was looking through. So I don't collect physical manga just because I don't really feel like I have the space to put all of it. So I'll e-read it, which, say what you want about it. It's still, reading the manga.
Oh
But
no.
I downloaded this Evangelion one, and it was like something about like the life of Shinji or something. And I'm reading it, and I was like, this is fucking weird. And come to find out, it's based off of like romance game, like a dating sim game where you're like Shinji and you go and try to date all the various characters. And I was like, I didn't want this. I don't know why I bought it for like $2, but it was $2, so I got it now.
That sounds beautiful.
But I mean, if I wanted to read a manga based off of like a romance game, wouldn't I just play the romance game?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, like, it's not like I'm getting a lot of action. I could use some dating sims in my life.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you gotta play. You play for the money shot.
Well, God damn it. Here, let me try some. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But let's see.
You can try something. You roboted out for a minute there. I don't know what you're trying, but you can try something.
Okay. How's that?
You sound good again.
Okay, good. That's a good
I still
deal.
don't see you, but I don't know if
No,
I have to see you because it is
no.
podcast format.
I don't plan on doing fixing it. It's just gonna stay this way after my editing. So it's
Fair
learning
enough.
curves. Learning
Well,
curves.
I'd like to learn her curves.
We call this rookie hours, but like I said, eventually I think I'm gonna look into like Verizon here and try to get some faster internet because sometimes it's better than other
Yeah,
days. But
look at it. Look at all like the cellular providers. 'Cause, I mean, like Verizon might not offer it out there, but T-Mobile might, and it would suck having to pay the two bills. But you do
yeah,
what you got to do, especially if you're trying to make a career on just general online things. And speaking of which, I am actually planning on starting a podcast here soon with my buddy, and it's literally just going to be so. Some of the more ridiculous things I've said tonight talking to you, it's gonna be like a straight hour of just the ridiculous things.
well, yeah, I would expect nothing less from
I mean,
you.
you know me. I mean, we may have only hung out like once or twice, but you know me.
Oh yeah, oh I know you. I know you. I know you upside down, inside out,
Inside.
and out.
No, just inside.
But I came back out.
No, you came inside.
That explains a lot.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's why I'm pregnant.
Well, you've been holding that kid for too long now.
It's kind of like a shit. I want to like let it brew enough.
Ah, just let it go.
Just let it go. Let it drip down your leg.
But yeah, once you get that started, next time you're on, we can plug it if you got it started by then.
Well, I mean, we don't need to plug it too much. I'm just saying I would like to have you as a guest at some point on that when it happens.
Oh yeah, of course.
And believe me, you'll get a plug on my on my Facebook at least for what it's worth.
At
I
my
got like I don't know,
Facebook
like
at least.
4,000 people
Wow,
on there.
that sounds pretty nifty.
I don't have any other place to plug Maddie besides wall outlets, but they don't care about podcasts, just cords.
I forget you're in your 30s now.
This is true. I don't do anything other than really like Facebook and then like Discord even like I don't hop on Discord unless I'm actively playing a game with someone. I mean, I'm always on Discord, but I don't go out of my way to talk on Discord.
Right. That's fair. But I mean, to be honest with you though, I never really do either, except for this.
Well,
Like,
it's a meeting of the stars right now. We're not stars yet, but we will be.
well, of course we will be, because we're just that awesome of people.
Yep, we're entertaining in a weird sort of way that's refreshing to people who have been not entertained for a while.
You just wait, because I'm gonna be a star, Alex.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be a supernova. Well, one up you. I'm gonna one up you on your own podcast.
That's fine. That's fine. But grinding's been paying off, man.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm not excited for if I start anything like this is the grind.
Yeah, because like
I'm too.
I've gained like the most. I'm not even that big, but like I gained like 140 subs in like a month. Which doesn't sound like
Yeah, I
much,
think
but
I'll fully admit I haven't went and watched your content yet. It's been on my list of things to do, but I've got a lot of other
you're not
things
supposed
going
to
on.
admit that.
Hey, I can fully admit that. Watch his stuff. It's awesome. He's an awesome individual. I know he's an awesome individual, so I know his stuff is going to be awesome, even if I haven't personally watched it. I am one of those what you would call neuro-spicy people. So eventually, his stuff will provide the proper dopamine, and I will dive into it. But right now, my dopamine sources are coming from lol cows like Chris Chan and Cobra, King Cobra.
What the fuck?
Dude, that's been my whole thing right now is watching like lol cows on YouTube and their drama that they've gone through.
Dude, like I don't even know what I was gonna say now. That was very extensive. Oh, last night, which would be a week ago once this airs, I actually sat with Mitch after we recorded and watched one of my because technically my channel is 2 years old, but I didn't start really seriously doing it until last October, so it's been about 10 months. Because
Yeah.
I was only uploading like a video like every 5 months, so I don't really count that. But like
Yeah.
one of my first ones, have you ever seen the series School Days?
I don't think I have.
Oh my god, it's crazy. Like it's like one of the most like dip hills for ratings ever. There's like a split of 1 and 10. That's it. Like it's so.
But that's how you know it might really be good though.
I ended up giving it a 7.5 out of 10.
But like so seriously think about it. Nowadays at least with how people are, how rating systems are and how people like to rate things, it's when you find that split between the 1 and 10 and that's about it, you know there's some sort of controversy behind it, so you know you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it because you're going to fall into that 1 or 10 group. Like you said, you gave it a 7.5,
Yeah.
but that's pretty close to the 10 group. You know, a 7.5 is still a respectable rating for something like that's above average.
Yeah, and I've explained it how I do it, but like for me, if I at least watched it through, it's usually a 5. 6 is like mildly entertaining, 7 entertaining, 8 a little bit above and beyond, 9 perfect, but there's like 1 or 2 tiny flaws, and then obviously 10's a masterpiece. And like
Yeah.
so 7.5 still it is still a pretty good rating, but I we watched that review, which was just like my editing was sloppy. My background music was like a little uneven, and like my pacing was just terrible. And then we watched the whole thing, which is like 40 minutes. And then we watched the latest video I did, and like my editing's smooth, my watermark's perfect. Like I'm like transitioning, and like it actually sounds like I know what I'm doing. And I'm like, that's 10 months right there, Mitch. And he's like, that sounds like a lot of work. And I'm like, it is, but it comes natural and it starts working. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, eventually, you know, you practice something hard enough and you put the work in, it does connect. And I'm glad that you're getting to that point where it's starting to connect for you.
Yeah.
And I can imagine the editing process just has to be a pain because I'm sure that with this whole Discord call, you're going to edit down to like some stuff that's more entertaining, edit out the moments where I'm talking to you about your robot mic, you know, all that stuff. And
I don't know. I want to keep the one about with the Power Rangers.
that was a pretty good go off right there.
Did anybody else watch Super Sentai? Anybody?
Anybody else watch hentai? What?
Anybody? You're watching my channel, you probably do.
I mean, maybe once or twice, but it's not like I whipped it out to it. Well, I definitely whipped it out to it, but it's not like I came to completion. Well, I definitely came to completion to it. It's not like I looked at myself in the mirror afterwards for about 25 minutes asking me what I was doing. Well, I definitely did that.
It's that post nut clarity.
Oh, seriously though, I really do think that Power Rangers is probably what segued me into getting into anime, because if you go back and you watch like the old Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, just the kind of overly bombastic way it is kind of almost what I look for when I'm watching, stereotypical shonen anime.
Well, to be fair, it is based off of the Japanese series Super Sentai.
Yeah, no, I get it. I do understand.
They brought
I
it to
was
the
I was
West
at the
Coast,
detour this year.
and it worked. You went to Anime Detour, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I actually went up and met that guy, got him to sign an Akira poster, and like, dude, I'm glad I got the Akira one, because like that was, I guess, his big voice acting break, and you could see like his face almost light up that I brought that picture up.
Yeah.
And like the voice actors give so much to us. It's nice to be able to like give a little back to them.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Even
There's
if it is just like, hey,
just
Akira, huh?
it's just like I feel like there was a golden wave of English voice actors, and then like
Yeah.
not to discredit the modern ones, but it's just not the same as some of the older ones.
So as for like male voice actors go, I think male voice actors are doing a lot better than female voice actors are. There are a lot of English female voice actors that I cannot stand. They're trying too hard for the cutesy when it just doesn't seem like it comes naturally, if that
No.
makes sense.
Yeah, you would know better than me. I don't really watch anything in English, so
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I wish I did know Japanese, because I know that there are some things lost in translation, like specifically, what was the most recent one? I think it was Jujutsu Kaisen, and I can't remember all the characters' names right now because I'm kind of going through that one as it gets dubbed.
right.
But one of the characters mentioned his like cursed spirit's name, and it was actually the name of his son or something like that. And it was like a big faux pas for English voice acting and translation.
Yeah, that's like even if you, I know you obviously probably haven't, but if you watch Dragon Ball GT in Japanese versus English, it's actually almost a completely different like contextful ending with Piccolo and shit.
Yeah. So like when Piccolo kind of sacrifices himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a totally different dialogue and like almost like a different perspective the way that it's translated, but you
See,
know,
here's the thing though, like I would love to watch that subbed,
yeah.
but the voice actors in the Japanese version of Dragon Ball Z kind of grate on me a little bit. Like I do not like Goku's voice.
She's a goddess among the voice acting community.
Well, she could be, but I didn't like her as Goku.
Well, damn.
But I grew up with dubbed Goku.
Sean
So, I mean, I
Schemmel.
guess it makes sense.
Sean Schemmel.
I wish I knew more voiced actors' names. I should pay more attention to that, because it would be nice to meet some of the people that I've been listening to for years.
You got to meet Chuck Huber, man. Chuck Huber's a god.
What was he? What are some big ones that I would know that he did?
He was Hiei in Yu Yu Hakusho,
Yeah,
Android 17.
yeah.
Yeah, and then he played a couple in games too, but anime wise, I mean, he did a fairy tale voice, but you didn't watch fairy tale.
I watched a little bit of Fairy Tale just because it was one of the animes that had Plu in it, and like
And
I want to fucking talk about that. Like, what was it? Rave Masters back in the day.
yeah,
Why is Plu featured in like 3 or 4 different fucking animes? Are they all made by the same studio? I haven't delved into that at all.
it's made by the same mangaka. So he rates and
Yeah.
like Eden Zero too. Yeah, he makes all his characters for like every series he does look so similar, and that's one of the biggest complaints that people have about him.
I mean, if you like an art style, you like an art style. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like there's that one that Toriyama are releasing soon, the Desert, that looks like all of his shit too.
yeah,
Which I
I do
mean,
like Toriyama's art style though. It is iconic.
iconic.
It really is, dude. Like you have to think like how many people have been brought together over his artwork specifically.
5.
5 people.
Yeah.
That's like if you multiply that by like the actual amount of people, like I mean, come on, like
If I multiply that by the actual people.
oh my god, and if you said something about desert, like fuck dude, Desert Punk,
Yeah,
I
Desert
think that's a
Punk.
highly underrated one right now. Like most people I talk to have not seen it.
Oh, it's actually airing?
No, not Desert Punk airing right now, but the old Desert Punk. I can't remember when it came out or anything like that, but it's great. It's got fan service. It's hilarious.
Just like the nice Blu-ray digitally exclusive hentai horror to the core.
Horror to the core.
Yeah.
Desert Punk right here. Pulled it up real quick. Serialized. I guess the comic is still going right now. The manga, 22 volumes. I actually ended it in 2022. Not 2022, but 2020. But the series aired from 2004 to 2005.
Oh, so it was one of those eras.
Yeah, honestly, you can say a lot about that era though. Like,
Oh yeah, like there was a lot of shit pumping out from like '04 to 2010 that was really 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 good.
yeah, like what I think it was like well, we got like Code Geass, which is just phenomenal. That could easily take a spot in like my top five, but I've got my top five written because a lot of them have a little bit more meaning to them for me.
Do you want me to ruin one of
Um,
your earliest animes?
which
Probably.
one?
Elfen
Which
Lied.
one? Why are they cousins?
Just that's not. Who gives a fuck about that? Just go if you go and rewatch it. It's so bad.
So it was not one of my earliest. I actually delved into it probably around 2010, 2011, and like it was great at the time. I will always remember reading the subtitles for I think it's the ending theme. There's a line in the song that has stuck with me forever, and that is with dreams louder than wishes or wishes louder than dreams, one or the other. But that line has stuck with me forever. I understand that it really wasn't that good,
Yeah, like
but
it's bad.
yeah, there are that's why I won't ever go back and watch Inuyasha, even though like it was a very pivotal point in my life when it came to watching anime, because that was like the other than Dragon Ball, that was like the huge big serialized anime I got to watch at the time.
Yeah, I get
And it
that.
had like some of my first anime crushes in it, my
Yeah,
first waifus.
my first wife was. Oh
Come
boy,
on, dude. Sango, yeah, with that giant boomerang whipping it around. Yeah, yeah.
I like Keiko.
Fuck it. What does that mean? Where it's just fucking like Kagome and Inuyasha going back and forth. Inuyasha, Kagome,
I
Inuyasha.
no, I I could never. Yeah, like I could never rewatch it. But to me, it wasn't that precious either, so it wasn't like a big deal. But
Yeah,
I'm
I think it's just a big deal because it was that time where I was finding anime.
right. I totally understand that. It's nostalgia.
It really is. It really is.
I don't. I'm one of those. I'm another hipster in a way where nostalgia doesn't really get me.
So nostalgia will get me in a lot of respects. Like I understand that the animation for the original Gundam series, Mobile Suit Gundam, was just utter trash.
Oh yeah.
But the story is where it's at with that stuff. I love those like morally ambiguous stories where you could root for either side because you're like, yeah, I could see Xeon's side of things and I could see the Earth Federation side of things. Like they did a really good job with that back in the day.
And then they had Darling in the Franks. Yeah.
But let's talk about Gundam for a minute. I'm actually kind of disappointed in the Witch of Mercury.
Is it the
I think
lesbians?
it's not the lesbians, but it took away that moral ambiguity that Gundam has always sort of had around it.
You would know better than me. I'll be honest with you.
You didn't watch a lot of Gundam?
I didn't watch a shit ton of Gundam. No.
So, aside from like G Fighter, because G Fighter was just a weird one, um, like Double Z, what is it? The one that's got like the 016th core, I think it is.
Okay.
Even Wing, there was a lot of moral ambiguity with either side. You know, you could root for either side. You could see where both sides are coming from. With Witch of Mercury, they really put the main protagonists on a pedestal in this anime as the people who are doing the good, the people who are doing the good. And they try to slip the moral ambiguity in there in certain circumstances. Like I remember one of the last episodes I watched of it because I'm having trouble even finishing it right now. Um, so there's like a terrorist attack, and the terrorists come in and through all this stuff, and then one of the lesbians comes in, and the other lesbian's about to get shot down by like an assassin that's trying to kill her father, and then fucking the Gundam, she slaps Gundam Ariel's fucking hand down on top of the guy, and it creates like a delicious fucking space jelly. And um, she like hops down and she slips in the space jelly, and she's like, "Oops, I'm so clumsy." Goes to grab her hand and fucking is like, "Come with me, I'm here to save you." And she's like, the fucking other lesbian's like, "You're a murderer. How could you murder someone?" And it's like, okay, you're just shoehorning in what was good about your series in a series that doesn't have it.
I could see that being a very agreeable argument of ruining a series.
Well, it's like even with Iron Blood Orphans, which is a phenomenal series if you never watched it. I'm not sure how huge into mecha anime you are, but mecha anime was kind of my thing for a bit. But Iron Blood Orphans even has some moral ambiguity in it. You know,
Yeah. I
yeah, no.
I I never really got super into mech. I mean, I was mostly like if I wasn't watching, I mean, I'm kind of everywhere these days, but like for a long period there I was pretty much just watching like slice of life.
Yeah.
And then I went to a really hard phase of fantasy adventure.
Okay.
And
So
then
like Grand Crest Chronicles or the Chronicles of the Grand Crest War and stuff like that.
yeah, and like Plunder and frickin' Berserk and just all that kind of shit. Oh,
Oh,
same.
I need to go through Berserk. I'm reading it right now. I'm on the first manga.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You gotta watch the '97 version though.
Okay, I will, because I know I watched one of the movies back in the day and I did like it. I can't remember which one it was though.
Probably one of the well. I don't
I
think.
remember there was like a long silver-haired guy.
Oh yeah, we don't like him.
Yeah, I didn't like him at that time either.
We don't like him. He's a bitch. But
Is he a baby back bitch, like a Chili's baby back bitch?
yes, he's a
Nice.
piece of fucking shit. But then I kind of went into like psychological thrillers and idol animes, and it's kind of where I've been. Mostly psychological
So
thrillers, though.
So right now I've been bouncing around between moments of ultra violence, like of course I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen right now. I watched Hell's Paradise.
Oh my god, not again.
Okay, you might not have liked it, but did you watch it all the way through? I
Yeah, I
think you said
watched
you
it all
couldn't
the way
finish it.
through. Oh, I did.
See, I don't think the story's all that fantastic, but visually it's a great anime. And sometimes like visually you have to choose, like, is this visually great enough to watch?
Oh, that you could say the
But
same
like,
thing about Demon Slayer.
yeah, I haven't gotten into Demon Slayer, but that's because a lot of people tell me not to.
It didn't start getting good till the last season we just had.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty mid.
It's very slow and full of annoying sub characters. It's only big because of the visuals.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
I did a
But
whole
so
video on it, season 1, for my 100 subscribers. That was an hour long. That was brutal.
I'll go back and watch it. Don't worry. But not the anime, the review. That's like an hour long because that's like 2 episodes of Demon Slayer, and I don't have to watch it if you
Yeah,
reviewed it.
it
But
condenses it down to an hour, man.
nice. But like one I've actually been thinking about picking up the manga for, and I'm really hoping we do get a second season. I haven't looked into it. Is Dora Hedoro?
I don't know if that one's gonna get a second or not. I actually haven't
I
looked
hope
into it
it
much
gets.
either.
I hope it gets a second because I'm almost to the point where I'm about to just start reading the manga because I want to know what happens with. I can't remember the characters' names right now, but
Just like,
I want to know what happens with them.
did you watch Sagumo?
Segumo? I don't think so.
Oh, that one's so fucking good. It had 2 seasons, and like the ending of the second season was a huge, huge, huge cliffhanger. And this was in like 2019, so it's almost been like 4 years now. We haven't got a single fucking word.
When are we supposed to get the fucking second season of Chainsaw Man? Do you have any idea? I haven't
Oh
looked.
God, not anytime soon. I could
Cause
see.
like
I,
Chainsaw Man's one of those ones that could have breached into my top 5, and then like as you said, it gets good after the anime. So I did start reading the manga. I think I'm at the point where fucking he's getting hung. He already went to hell,
yeah.
and I can't. I think I was on the manga where he was in hell. I need to buy the next one, which I'm planning on doing probably tonight or tomorrow.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I could see it being that late next year, if anything, honestly. Because I
I'm
mean,
hoping
Mappa's got a
sooner
lot
rather
of
than later.
shit. Because I mean, they just finished the Vinland Saga, um, and then they had another project they were working on. I can't remember what the fuck it was. Probably finishing Attack on Titan or something. I don't know. And
I was not a huge fan.
I didn't like Attack on Titan myself.
Like I thought visually it was a very appealing, but I wasn't huge into the story.
No, the story is really boring in my opinion.
Yeah. One that I do actually need to catch up on though, because I'm pretty sure they did a second season. They might have even done a third. Is the newer Ghost in the Shell series, the one that decided to go weird 3D CGI'd?
Oh, I
You
can't
know,
stand that shit.
if you can get past it, dude, the story is fucking phenomenal. It's about like people who have all the prosthetics and stuff, but like their brains have essentially turned into supercomputers. So now Major's got to deal with people who can make calculations within an instant,
Fair.
you know? And like some of the fights in that fucking anime, because I know Ghost in the Shell wasn't really always about the fights. It was more about just kind of sort of figuring out and solving what's going on. But some of the combat sequences in that are just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
that's the thing too. That's why I watch a shit ton of late 80s, early 90s OVAs and shit, because the animations and like fight scenes are so fucking fantastic in the gore.
And I like if we pedal back on Dragon Ball Z, like the most recent movies to come out, not superhero. And I haven't watched Resurrection F. I have it, but I have not watched it.
You don't need to. You can just watch the season.
I watched the season, but is it like Broly where the animation is just on another level? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's better.
And see, that's what I like about those Dragon Ball movies is the animation is always just on another fucking level. Like the fight with Broly, oh, that's gotta hands down be one of my favorite fucking anime moments at this time.
They really fucked up with superhero.
They really did. And I don't think they fucked up in like I don't think we're gonna agree on how they fucked up. But in my opinion, they brought in Cell Max too late. Cell Max being just this mindless being was not entertaining because Cell was always with the quick quips and stuff like that. Like if I were to compare him to like a Western sort of character, like on the superhero side of things, I'm not going to compare him to a villain because I'm not very in tune with Western media at the moment for the most part. Spider-Man, he was always those quick quips, those jabs at the protagonist and stuff like that, whereas Spider-Man on the transverse would have been the jabs at the villains and stuff like that. To make him into a mindless being was just terrible. But like Orange Piccolo, Beast, Gohan, they were badass evolutions of the characters.
I didn't like him that much.
I mean,
and
come on,
the
Beast
power
Gohan.
the power scaling was so whack too.
And if we're going to talk about Dragon Ball for a minute, because I did kind of bring it up, I think I know how Toriyama could fix Dragon Ball.
How?
He needs to separate what Goku is doing and Vegeta is doing into a completely separate series, and he needs to bring the other characters back in to be doing another series. So, like, think of one as like Dragon Ball Gods and like Dragon Ball Earth.
I've always wanted to get more with the Demon Realm.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could shoehorn the Demon Realm into either of those, but I think they need to separate Goku and Vegeta from everyone. Like, it's obvious, at least to me, that Goku and Vegeta are in line to be the next destroyer set. They're getting to that point where they could probably very soon beat. Like, I haven't read the manga, but I've heard cliff notes. They're getting to that point where they could probably beat Beerus and Whis fairly soon here. I would rather not have these completely overpowered characters where the power scaling's all fucked and go back to seeing what like Gohan's doing, what Goten and Trunks are doing at this point in time. And even fucking somehow bring Yamcha back in the fray. Like, why can't Goku come down to Earth and train the Z fighters to use Ultra Instinct? Or why was Yamcha never able to learn how to do the Kaioken?
Why was TN fucking shot down completely?
I know Tien is such a good character. That moment where in the is it in the Saiyan arc where he's sitting there using Tri-Beam over and over again until he pretty much dies?
That's the Cell arc.
That's the Cell arc?
Yep.
That is the Cell arc.
Yep.
Like, Tien's a badass character. Bring him up to the like level of other characters,
Like, even for the TOP, his episode wasn't even his episode.
I know. It's sad.
But the thing is, too, like, majority of it now, it's Toyotaro writing it. Toriyama just pretty much gives him cliff notes and tells him to work whatever he wants.
And I will say, I think I miss Toriyama's animation a lot more than I like Toyotaro's.
Yeah,
I don't know. So
I
I
liked
understand the
I
I
liked
understand the
AF
change
though.
up. What was that?
I liked AF, the fanfic that he wrote years ago before he got
Yeah.
like with Goku getting having a kid with a fucking evil Kai, and then fucking it's so fucking crazy.
Was that ever animated or is it only in panels?
It's only
Because
in
I have not
panels.
delved into that.
Because that one had
Okay,
Super Saiyan
I'll
5, which was the big, the one that looks kind of like Ultra Instinct now, except he had a monkey tail and fur.
yeah. So like what I was talking about with Ultra Instinct meeting Super Saiyan 4,
Was pretty much
essentially.
Toyotaro's original panel work.
Yeah, so I need to go back and look at the panel work for AF because I've heard a lot of good things about AF.
Oh, it's so good.
But
That and online history.
yeah, you were talking to me about the online history a while back, and I think I watched a few videos on it that was interesting. Like I liked the whole Trunks and Goten creating their own school based off of sword combat and weapon combat and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's really crazy when the fans write sometimes better lore and stories than like the actual writers do.
And I mean, this comes down to two, like, do you want to believe your head canon? Is your head canon better than current canon? Because
Right.
in my head canon, GT was the end of Z. Like Super is just kind of something I get to watch now.
In the gap between.
It is the gap between technically, but I don't think they will ever canonize the events of GT.
You never know.
And and to be fair, I don't think, except for the Shenrons, I don't think GT's villains were all that good. Like Baby Vegeta was mid.
Yeah, but Baby as a character was pretty deep though.
Yeah, yeah. But to me, Baby just felt like another chapter on the Android saga. Super 17 though, like oh, Super 17, that was ridiculous.
He looked
Because
badass.
the Super 17 arc opened up so much ridiculous shit that could happen. Like, so there's this fan theory going around that if GT were to be canonized, Raditz could technically still be alive. Because when everyone was going back to hell, Raditz was never shown.
Oh my god.
Imagine if all of the sudden Goku's brother's still alive.
Well, I mean Bardock is, so I mean what do we
Is he?
know? I mean he was in the
Is he?
manga.
I have to read. See, that's why I have to read the manga, but I don't know if I should start off at Z or start off at where the anime ends for Super.
With fucking I can't think of his name. Not granola, before him.
Granola bar,
Granola,
cereal,
it's before granola bar, it's the goat man.
Moro.
Moro, yeah, the Moro arc. That was actually
I don't
that was pretty
with
solid actually.
Dragon Ball. I don't know where to start with the manga because I know there's going to be differences from the manga than the anime. So I don't know. Do I start all the way back at Dragon Ball and work my way up to where Super's at right now?
I mean you could if you got time. It'll take a while, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, I pounded through like a manga a night when I'm reading manga, so
it'll only take you a year.
it'll only take me a year, and then I have to earn all the money to buy them.
Yeah. I've been
Although
reading.
those are ones that I might get, that I would think about getting hard copies of.
Yeah. No, I already talked about this in like last week's episode, but I bought this. I told you about it. It's this manga called Soap and Sweat,
Oh
and
yeah,
like
we were talking about that.
yeah, dude, I am attached, man. Like
So I've never actually looked up the definition of,
so,
is it dojinshi?
it's so okay. So
Talk about my pronunciation first.
You just talking about just Dojin? No, it's not a Dojin. It's just a manga. But like, it's this guy who works at this office, and like his side job is he makes like soap. And this girl that works at his office has this apparently really good sweat smell, and so he like falls
Got
in love with this.
pheromones.
Yeah, he falls in love with this bitch over her sweat and wants to like test soaps on her and shit.
That is so weird.
It's so good. It was right next to
Oh my
it was
god.
right next to Summertime Rendering when I was buying manga, and I was like, this looks good. And then I also got Succubus and Hitman, and that series is really freaking good too. I hope that one gets adapted someday.
I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds like it'd be right up my alley.
Oh,
Cause
it's fucking great.
so one of the animes I actually recently watched, I think I still have it saved in my Crunchyroll queue, that I really ended up liking, but I don't think we're supposed to get a second season for. Where is it? Love of the Kill.
Which one?
Uh, Love of the Kill. Love of Kill.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
So anyway, it's about like this fucking it's about a hitman who, like, okay, I'm gonna read a synopsis on it because I've had a few I've had 2 bottles of wine. I'm not gonna lie, I have a problem.
His
But
memory has gone down the shitter now, folks.
they taste good though.
I can't blame you. I can't blame you
I'm
at all.
drinking. I'm drinking Riesling, which is like my favorite wine. So the plot: during one of her bounty hunter missions, Chateau Dankworth comes across Song. I'm not going to try to pronounce that right now. A professional hitman who begins stalking her and broking her for information. Okay, now I remember. So like this girl is on like a bounty hunter mission. She comes after this assassin that's like the best assassin in the world and shit like that. And it turns out like they have a connection from childhood. Like it's ridiculous. Like he assumes the identity of someone, and it's like a weird love story involving assassins.
I feel like I
I
actually
would
have
rec
seen this one.
I'd recommend it, but like I don't think there's ever supposed to be a second season, and they set it up for a second season.
Have you seen Noir?
Noir. Let me quickly look that up because it sounds very familiar.
You would love that.
So another one that I loved in that same vein is I think it's called Phantom.
Yeah, I know Phantom.
I think everyone kind of knows Phantom at this point.
That's pretty valid.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that, but I'll give it a try.
Oh, that
If
one's
yeah,
yeah, you'll like that one. It's like it's definitely a psychological girls with gun thriller esque type of vibe where you literally they piece it a little bit by little bit, but every episode you're not expecting what's happening to happen, and I really like that. Not many keep you on your
fair
toes
enough.
that well, you know. I fucking love it.
I'm sitting here looking at like my queue that I've watched over the past couple months and stuff. I decided to save to keep it in my mindset. You want to know one kind of fucked with me and threw me for a loop?
What?
Future Diary.
I never watched that one.
You have to do it. It's I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, but it's a Yandere.
Oh, okay.
So female character,
Yep.
crazy as fuck. But anyway, she it's all about it's like a death game type of thing, but like the god is the ruler of the death game, and she kind of sort of gets in contact with this kid, and it all is done through cell phones that tell the future and shit like that. So like they can sit and look at what's going on, but the like twist is that their cell phones are also directly sort of related to them.
Okay.
So since the main character sort of blogs all his life and stuff like that, his is a very in-depth blog of what's going on with him. Well, the Yandere character talks a lot about the main character and thinks a lot about the main character. So her future diary is all about him. And I think there's like 12 or 13 future diaries, and they're all literally fighting to become God.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm not going to spoil the twist or anything, but like you probably would love it. I mean, it's got a little fucking crazy cute pink-haired girl in it.
It almost sounds a little bit like C3, but C3 was good too.
I'm gonna have to check that one out then if it sounds like Future Diary, because I fucking love that.
Yeah, C3. It was. I think it was on Hulu. I mean, I own it obviously, but
Is it on Crunchy? Because I don't watch anime on my TV because of my kid.
oh, that's fair. I think it should be.
Let's give it a little peek see real quick so the audience knows if this recommendation.
Because I think because obviously with Funimation and Crunchyroll merged, I mean,
A very big-eyed anime girl, blue hair.
I'm trying to think. I might have to get up and actually look, but I don't. I'm trying to think because it's C3. Oh no, oh my god, C3 is really good, but that's not the one I was thinking of. But that one is really good. I'm just so many I've seen.
I'll add it.
That one is I love C3, but the one I'm actually thinking of is what the hell is it? But no, C3. Oh my god, I should watch that tonight. But the one I'm thinking of is, gosh, it's been so long. I know it's a shorter one. I swear to God, what is it called? Crap. I might have to let you know later because it's such a good one too. But what the hell? I swear to God, I had a limited box set, so it should stick out like a sore thumb.
Okay. So we talked about top fives earlier, and we're
Before you start, I found it. It's called. Oh my gosh, do I actually have to take it out of the box here? Let's see what the hell.
waiting.
I know. I'm looking because like it's got a C on it, but what the hell is it called? It's like
See you next Tuesday. The animation.
yeah, dude. It's it doesn't even like have. It's the money of soul and possibility control. I think it's called Control. But anyways, while you get back on that, I just wanted to, now that I found it, I really wanted to say that I found it.
Yeah, I don't think I see any. You're gonna have to send me a picture of it, and maybe I'll be able to find it off of that. But I'll
Okay.
definitely give it a look because, like, I typed in control and I get ground control to Psycho Electric Girls.
Which is great. But not what we're.
I'll add that too.
I mean, you might like it. It's kind of cutesy if you're into cutesy, but it's
I'm
also
all over the spectrum. So
but
I'm
it's
all
also
over the spectrum with anime.
it's kind of sad too. But
So we talked about my top fives earlier. I should probably ask you your top fives to be a polite guess. But we'll talk about that after I talk about this. So like another honorable mention that I would like to recommend to anyone who hasn't seen it, and I don't know anyone who hasn't seen it yet. I shouldn't say that because my buddy who's into anime hasn't seen it, but Eden of the East.
Eden of the East. I don't think I've seen it either.
It is such a phenomenal anime, dude. So it's about this dude. It's about like people who get these cell phones that give them a bunch of money and they can use up their money and call to have things happen. And like anything can happen when they use these phones to call people. It's literally about this guy who sees the NEAT epidemic in Japan and wants to fix it. And he calls to like try and save all the NEATs, but it is It is phenomenal, dude. Like, it starts off with like a trip to the United States, and this dude is naked on the fucking White House grounds. Like, and he refers to his dick as his Johnny. I'm actually going to. I can't believe you haven't seen it, so I'm actually gonna give it a quick look up and send you like the wiki or something.
Okay.
And if your viewers like ASMR, I'm sure you can hear my thocky keyboard.
So much. It's so thick.
It's so thocky. It's a thick thock.
But what's the weight on them?
I actually have browns.
Oh.
I'm thinking about getting these for my brown keyboard though, because
Because
I've got I think I've got like a Steel Series. I'm not even fucking like. Hold on, I can actually open my app and see what I got. Well, there's so many different Steel Series keyboards, and to anyone who likes to play games and likes good feedback on their games, I would definitely recommend a Steel Series keyboard. Steel Series GG.
But what?
GG, good game.
Yeah.
But so I'll recommend to your users here that they get a SteelSeries keyboard, and my SteelSeries is a Apex 7 TKL. And for anyone who is unfamiliar with the terminology, TKL means 10 keyless. Like, why the fuck do you need the 10 keys if you're playing games?
But
Think
why?
about it. But why would you need them? Why?
What if you're playing a rhythm
But
game?
no, do you need the 10 keys
You might.
for a rhythm game?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at that point, you should just plug in your DDR pad and figure it out.
No. Well, you ain't
Dude,
DDR this shit.
I'm so pissed I fell off on rhythm games, man, because I used to play so much like Guitar Hero back in the day. Now, I mean, that's like the baseline for rhythm games, but like, I used to love rhythm games, and I just fell off with them after Guitar Hero.
I play all the basic cliche ones as D for DJ and Hatsune Miku, Colorful Stage, Bang G, and I was playing one more I thought, but maybe not. I haven't played in like a good month. I've taken a month break from my rhythm games, like a rehab.
Sometimes you need to, because if you play too many rhythm games, you'll get tendonitis.
And, yeah, my thumbs, man. You got to keep them thumbs fresh.
That's a common joke I make to people is like, hey, I have tendonitis in both my arms, and I bet you'll never guess what it's from. And they'll be like, oh, jerking off. And I'll be like, no, fucking Guitar Hero, you pervert.
Too much D for DJ got me fucked up.
Seriously, though, like, let's talk about rhythm games. The amount of movement you need to play a rhythm game,
Oh, dude, I
it's
play 14
ridiculous.
pluses on like that's like there's only one more higher difficulty, but yeah, D for DJ has like the 5 buttons on the bottom, the you've got a slider going on in the middle of all of it, and then you got some DJ gist that you have to flick on the sides too. So you got a total of like 8 things to be looking and worrying about.
So, do you have a special controller for that, or are you just using like keyboard and mouse?
Just my phone. It's a
Just
mobile
your
game.
phone?
Yeah, it's a mobile
It's
game,
a
bro.
tap.
Yeah.
I used to play tap tap back in the day, man. Tap
This
tap
is
was the
not.
shit.
This is not. This is no tap tap. This
Hey,
is
come on,
like
tap tap was the shit.
this game is way better
Tap
than
tap,
tap tap.
like, in risk of giving away my location, tap tap had for all those sleeping on it back in the day, man, before they really got big.
But it's tap. It's not. It's so easy.
It really is, though.
I need difficulty in my life with original Japanese music from the bands that are in there. It's so good.
See, that's where me and you differ on video games. I play them for enjoyment. Like, if I popped open my Steam library right now, the games I'm playing are like Senran Kagura, um, well, Ghost Runner. That game is fucking difficult, but that's like I like roguelites. I don't like Souls type like games. I got like RoboQuest, Risk of Rain, Left 4 Dead, Cyberpunk 2077 because that game just fucking slaps. I don't care what anyone says. It was terrible when it came out, but it still slaps. But
I've
yeah, you play a lot of Souls-like games. Do you play any roguelikes?
not really. I've just
I
been
could.
still playing Elden Ring like a bitch until the DLC comes out. But I know I'm waiting for Baldur's Gate to come on console next 2 weeks from now. And then Lords of the Fallen looks freaking amazing too, and that doesn't come out until October 13th. But that's also a Souls-like game, as I showed you.
Yeah, it seems like it's an easier to grasp Souls-like though. Like it seems like it's for the Souls-like for people who don't play a lot of Souls-likes.
It looks like it has. They have 10 classes on that game apparently.
As for Baldur's Gate 3, I've actually been thinking about copping that on my PC, but what I'm waiting for right now is Starfield and the Cyberpunk DLC because the Cyberpunk DLC is supposed to rewrite everything about the game, the whole skill system and all of that. The AI for the police. It's supposed to be a big change up. It's supposed to be closer to what CDPR's vision was when they first decided they were going to make Cyberpunk.
Okay.
But as for roguelikes, if you like difficulty, dude, like roguelikes, they're my difficulty type games. So you ever play Binding of Isaac?
But I've heard of it.
It's a bullet hell game that's completely fucked up. Like at a certain point you're literally trying to rip out of your mother's womb. But like Binding of Isaac, Rogue Legacy, of course, Risk of Rain 2, um, Ghost Runner, which like if you want difficult, dude, Ghost Runner is definitely one of those difficult games because it's a lot of parkouring and trying to solve these levels in a intelligent way, but it's one shot, one kill. So all the enemies go down in one hit, but so do you.
That sounds
So
like
like,
some
yeah, man.
Famicom bullet hell games. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. Like, so a lot of these roguelike games I would compare to old Famicom games because you get one life and then you have to start over. And when you start over, usually, like so with Ghost Runner, it's a little different because it lacks the procedurally generated element that most roguelites likes have. So for like Binding of Isaac, for example, um, it's procedurally generated, so your world will never be the same twice. I mean, you might run into those circumstances because they can only generate so many worlds. But your
Understandably.
playthrough is different every time. You die, you're done. So if you spend 5-10 minutes trying to get through this game and you die, you're done. You start over. No items, no nothing, no saves.
That
But
sounds brutal.
as you go through, you collect and you upgrade. So you'll get items that will start getting into your world's RNG and stuff like that that could help you out, but they also could fuck you over. So I would definitely like if you're into Souls-esque games, I would definitely recommend roguelikes.
Okay. Well, then I'll look into it
Uh,
then because I've kind of been feeling like buying a game recently, anyways. So,
So if I were to recommend any right off the top, it would be either Risk of Rain 2, Ghost Runner, or Binding of Isaac.
okay, I'll look into them tonight. Then I also like. I suppose I never played that game, but I really want to repurchase because I used to have it on my PS4. But freaking another from software game, but freaking Sekiro.
I've thought about playing that game, but I've also heard there's a lot of and I need to stop getting irritated at video games. I am, you know me, Maddie. I mean, you don't know me that well, but I am a genuinely very irritatable person. So when games start to irritate me, I get very irritated, very irritated, and then I gotta step away. That's why I haven't gone very far in Elden Ring.
The tree sentinel take you down a few times?
Probably. That's that boss right outside of that one church camp, isn't it?
Yeah, with the
Right next
horse.
to the cave. Yeah. No, he's definitely taken me down a few times.
I love it. I had to start a new playthrough instead of working on my level 300 character at this point.
You know, I should just give it a try because I got pretty far in Bloodborne
Yeah, man.
before I. That's before I gave up and stopped playing it. Because once I like I got it all down. Because like FromSoft games, people don't realize this about FromSoft games. Now I'm going to break it down.
Yeah.
It's memory. You go a little bit, you die. You come back, you remember where those enemies are.
Yep.
That's all it is. It's memory and memory and memory. And yes, there is some reaction to come down to it. But also, if you want to talk about reaction, that comes down to memorizing their move sets. FromSoft games are over glorified memory games.
Yeah. They really are.
Sorry to anyone listening out there that really loves FromSoft games. The lore is cool, the art is cool, the enemies that they create are cool, but it's an over glorified memory game. I've been playing these since I was in kindergarten. Not to say I'm good at them, but like that's what it is.
Damn. He went there.
I went there. I've always been more of a JRPG guy, and even JRPGs are kind of disappointing me lately. Just AAA titles in general are disappointing me.
I think AAA titles are disappointing everyone.
I really think they are, and they need to stop. They just need to.
But will they?
I don't think they will because people are still going to buy them. Like, I haven't played the newest Final Fantasy.
I
I
heard a
don't
lot
think
of people
Final
are.
Fantasy. I don't think Final Fantasy should have went into an action game. Final Fantasy had its niche. It was a good turn-based game
Yeah.
for the longest time. Like some of my favorite Final Fantasies are Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 10.
Okay.
I don't think they can really capture that strategy that they used to have with the games because I heard Final Fantasy 16 has even stepped into the realms of an almost Souls-like game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's more of an action based game rather than an RPG, and they're very much pulling away from the RPG aspect of their games, and I don't agree with it. Like, you have your niche, stay in your niche. I know you want to delve further beyond your niche, but you don't have to make another Final Fantasy to do that. Like, look at what Kingdom Hearts did, an excellent character-based action game.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I never really played any Final Fantasy games.
I would recommend Classic 7 to anyone who can still sit through it.
I heard there's a lot of text.
And there is a lot of text. And I would recommend also 10 to anyone who can sit through the characters.
So you're
Because Tidus is a bitch. That game will make you fucking cry, though.
Well, that's all that matters. That's all we care about on this channel is crying.
I know. That's why I'm here, because I'm actually terrible at crying. That's a personal problem, people. Don't ever stop crying, fans of
It's
this Squidly podcast.
always cry. That's why we watch sad animes. That's everybody knows. Everybody watching my channel knows. Sad shit. That's what we like here.
Exactly. It's at the point where we're so repressed in our emotions that we need to watch anime in order to feel things.
Well, maybe me, but
It's also me, dude. Like,
between that and my copious amounts of K-pop.
you see, I've been listening to a lot of dark trap lately, not K-pop, but like dark trap gets me feeling a certain type of way, and that certain type of way is not crying. It's wanting to punch people in the face and do drugs.
Oh,
But
that's
we
not
don't talk about.
that's not what my K-pop makes me want to do.
What does your K-pop make you want to do?
Makes me want to dance.
Okay, so I want to dance with everything, Matty Poo.
Yeah,
I want to dance with everything.
yeah, but the production on those fucking songs is insanity.
So I've actually started listening to a new artist. I don't even know how to pronounce his name because he's one of those stupid fucking hip hop artists that puts an X randomly in their name, but I think it's technically Allison Gray.
Okay.
And I don't know, man. He's got a very wide range, and that's what I've kind of been looking for in artists lately. Because full disclosure, people, Maddie already knows this, but I am a avid metalcore listener. Metalcore is fucking boring.
Yeah, it's not like hardcore.
It's dead now. And hardcore, well, it's having a nice resurgence, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, but it's not as good as I did. I went back the last few days, and I've just been listening to like 2010s UK hardcore, like Your Demise and like Desolated and like a bunch of those bands. Those guys were angry.
Dude, I want 2000s to 2010s grindcore to come back.
It won't come back.
I want more of what Dr. Acula was doing in the like mid 2000s.
Fucking Dr. Acula.
I will safely say Dr. Acula will probably sit in my top 10 forever. Not even gonna joke about that.
That's so
Like,
sad.
come on, dude. Come on, fucking. How many other bands do you know that just like drop right in the middle and are just like tits, 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 and it's literally a song about partying.
I can't do it.
You come on. See, I think the thing I love about Dr. Acula the most is all the weird samples they use. Or like old school Life Ruiner, dude. Like fucking what were those two albums? I'm gonna do a quick look up real quick. So I'm going to talk about other things. Like let's talk about flowers. What is your favorite flower?
I'll be honest with you, I don't really have one.
I don't have one either, but I thought that would be a good segue to something weird. So
I-
like Life Ruiner, No Saints and Taking Back the Nightlife, 2007, 2008. Those albums go hard. Like, if you haven't listened to them, Maddie, and I'm sure you have because you've been around the scene for a while, you got to listen to them.
I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot, okay?
Dude, they got a song called Ticket to the Pussy Crusher.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I've actually started to find we're actually having a crabcore resurgence, which I kind of like bands like Bill Murray. I think they're doing fucking great shit, which I have a soft spot for Bill Murray because I don't know if you know this, but it's the ex clean vocalist from Attack Attack.
Yeah, and guitar player.
Yeah, so you're actually up on this shit. I'm surprised because most people I talk to Bill Murray about, they don't know anything.
No, I know Bill Murray. All the hipster friends used to love Bill Murray.
I fell in love with Bill Murray actually very recently, and I'm pissed that I didn't find him earlier.
Yeah, I've known about them for like a decade.
A decade? They've been around that long?
It feels like it. It had to have been maybe like 7-8 years. Yeah.
I just found out about him about 2 years ago, but like I can relate to so much of his music. It's not even funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're just a little behind, but that's okay.
It's fine. I'm 30. I'm allowed to be behind. Well, 31. But I'm going to be 30 forever. Don't worry, guys. That's how it works.
I don't know what
But
that.
like I'm just finding out about Spite.
Dude, I seen Spite. They're great.
they are fucking phenomenal, dude. Coming out of the hardcore scene. I was right in there right when Kubla Khan was first dropping their first album. Same with like Knocked Loose. I would say that they're the forerunners right now of the hardcore scene.
Yep. Yeah, I could say that. Yeah.
I'm pissed that fucking I just found out not that long ago that Every Time I Die broke up.
Yeah, that was like last year. Yeah.
Yeah, I found out like mid this year because I heard all that controversy about Keith Buckley wanting to separate off for a little bit to do his own thing, but I never realized that they actually split up.
Yeah. Yep, they did.
But I am still glad that we got bands like Stick to Your Guns still doing their thing. Like, even if I do think their earlier works were better, but you know, people who are in on the ground floor of bands usually think that.
Yeah. I mean, I never really listened to much Stick to Your Guns, to be honest with you.
Well, if you like hardcore, dude, it's that weird positive hardcore.
Ew.
I like my positive hardcore. It makes me feel like I'm not alone in the world because they tell me I'm not alone every 5 minutes.
That's what my rom-com animes are for.
Oh, rom-com animes are good. Have you ever watched through everything for Full Metal Panic?
No.
So Full Metal Panic goes like season 1, and then there's Flufamel, which is a weird ass rom-com anime. And then it goes back to doing like the Mercenary Mechs anime the next season.
Interesting.
I would definitely recommend it. It's definitely on like my honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions of the night. Yeah, dude.
Many honorable mentions.
Oh, there's an infinite amount of honorable mentions I could think of, to be honest with you, but I've got a whole pile. But that's just another video for another day.
It is another video for another day or another night.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. We'll wrap this up and then we'll just talk outside because it's like we're hitting that 2-hour mark. Just perfect. Random ass made no sense. It's perfect. Perfect way to introduce Alex to the scene here before we actually, I don't know, have somewhat of a topical discussion. But it's good to just jitter it out for a while, I feel like, to get to know you. And it's been real tonight.
It has been real. I'm going to admit it. So I've never done any sort of podcasting like this. So I was a little nervous coming into this, just having topics to talk about. And it seems like we bounced off a lot of random topics. A lot of them, you know, fit with the theme of your channel having to do with anime. But I feel like we've talked about a lot of good things tonight. And I feel like you might have gotten a few good jokes out of me. Like,
I milked you for everything I could.
you can milk me some more later, Daddy.
Well, I'm gonna milk you in about 2 weeks.
Okay, I'll be back. You know I'll be back. This was fun. It was nice talking to all you folks. I got to do my wrap up now. I have nothing prepared. What I will say is stay golden. You're all divine in your own way, even if you don't believe in divinity. I don't really believe in divinity, but you're all divine in your own ways. And you guys stay golden, keep watching anime, keep listening to this motherfucker right here, because I've only known him for, you know, a couple years now, and we've only hung out a couple times, but I know he's a good damn guy. And I do get a lot of recommendations from him. So, like, let's keep this going.
All right. Well, thanks, man. Anything else you got to say?
And subscribe.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button and like the video and keep wait till tomorrow or yes.
And if you don't, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna say weird pickup lines outside your window and I'm gonna play Hawthorne Heights.
Oh man, you better do it then, because that won't be pretty.
All right, guys. Peace.